Shout out to our sponsor, Movement Watches. Get multiple watches in one with bands you can switch out for a whole new look. Because who needs to buy a whole new watch for every occasion? You can get 15% off your entire purchase plus free shipping at mvmtwatches.com/theknow. Welcome to The Know, I'm Mica. You can't go more than 2 clicks on the internet these days without reading about the supposed death of single-player games, and now even Xbox itself is getting in on the conversation. GM of Xbox Publishing, Shannon Loftus, commented about the future of single-player gaming in a recent interview, saying, well, the economics of single-player AAA games are getting more complicated. She told GameSpot, I don't think that it's dead per se. I do think the economics of taking a single-player game and telling a very high-fidelity multi-hour story get a little more complicated. Gamers want higher fidelity and they want higher resolution graphics. She said those complicated economics are a part of why Microsoft is doing subscription programs like Game Pass to maybe use as a potential place to launch single-player only games. In the end, she concluded, I don't think that there is ever going to be a time where there aren't single-player story-based games, which, thank goodness. And now some really exciting news! Nintendo held an Animal Crossing themed direct last night to unveil the franchise's new mobile game, Animal Crossing Pocket Camp. The new mobile title will be out in November, free for both iOS and Android users. According to Nintendo's direct, it plays like the Animal Crossing you know and love, only it's a bit downscaled. Rather than a whole town, you'll be managing your own adorable little campsite, sort of like Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer, but for camp. And by manage, we mostly mean decorating. You collect materials to build furniture, or you can spend actual money to help move things along more quickly. You'll also be able to visit a number of locations, invite other players to your campsite, or make new friends. Of course, the real big question is, how about actual Animal Crossing game, Nintendo? But one thing to keep in mind is that so far, each of Nintendo's mobile releases has preceded a new proper entry in that franchise, so crossing our fingers, maybe that means Animal Crossing for the Switch is on its way. Until then, maybe you can be held over by Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, which will be released in late November, and then Tom Nook can take your real money! 2018's most long-awaited game finally has a release date. And no, it's not Red Dead Redemption 2. It's obviously Metal Gear Survive. Duh. Konami announced the upcoming non-pachinko Metal Gear Zombie spin-off's release date on Twitter this week, February 20th, 2018, in the US and February 22nd in Europe. Pre-orders will also get players access to some unique weapons, scarves, gestures, and kabuki face paint. So start making those plans to play the next Metal Gear game-ish. Warner Bros. Has finally provided the details of Shadow of War's post-launch content and DLC, along with some interesting stats about what players have done so far in the game. Season Pass holders will be treated to 4 different expansions for the games. The Slaughtering Tribe and Outlaw Tribe expansions, launching in November and December, add a whole new set of tough orcs to face. Following that are 2 story expansions. The Blade of Galadriel drops in February 2018, where you play as an elite assassin in search of new enemies, and then the Desolation of Mordor in May 2018, where you play as a captain of Minas Ithil to face a rising threat in the desert. In addition to those details about the DLC, they also revealed that more than 1.5 million players have tackled the Shadow of War, slaying more than 3.3 billion orcs. So, good job, Rangers. Keep on slaying. NeoGAF has only been back for about a day after it rose from the ashes, but already we've got some new rumors making their way out of the forums. One poster joined many of those saying goodbye to the forum following recent controversy with a rather interesting farewell post. User Electric Blanket Fire, which is very dangerous, you should really watch out for those, revealed that he spent years passing legitimate leaks off as his own predictions and opinions, and for a parting gift, he offered a few interesting Nintendo tidbits for people to chew on. What a nice guy. For starters, he claims that a sequel to a 3DS game will be making its return on the Switch. Could that be Kid Icarus? Could that be Pikmin? We don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. He also alleges that a Netflix app is on its way in Q1. Themes are coming to the Switch on Christmas Day, and Metroid Prime 4 footage will debut in Q1 and be released Q4 at the earliest. On top of all that, he finishes things off with an indication that Punch-Out might be making a return on the Switch. So, yes, to all of those things. Thank you, Electric Blanket Fire. Put that out while you're at it. Could we ever see a sequel to Sunset Overdrive? Well, developer Insomniac Games says, yeah, with the right publisher. The open-world third-person shooter with a clever sense of humor was a well-received Xbox One exclusive, but despite some good reviews and a loyal following from some gamers, it never sold super well. In a response to a tweet asking about a sequel, Insomniac responded, "We'd love to, we just need to find a publisher." Of course, Insomniac probably has their hands full right now with the upcoming Spider-Man game, but it's still cool to see that they're keeping hope alive. We all remember the fearsome X-23 who was the breakout star of the Logan movie, and now it looks like there's going to be a spin-off movie featuring the young mutant with claws. Logan director James Mangold has confirmed that a script is in the works, and he told The Hollywood Reporter that it's due to the success of Wonder Woman. Mangold said Patty Jenkins' success with that film only solidifies more for studios that there's less to fear with a female protagonist. The more that keeps getting hit home, that it ends up giving me more space turning around and going, well, here we are with the female protagonist. That's incredible, and what are we going to do with her? And that's where we are with that script right now, Dreaming. So it sounds like things are still in the very early stages, but given how Logan ended, there's a lot of possibilities for this young character. It looks like the Microsoft Kinect is finally, officially, put a stake in it, dead. Yes, the accessory is no longer being manufactured after selling about 35 million units since it was introduced in 2010. The motion sensing Kinect had a lot of promise initially and even won a Guinness World Record in 2011 for being the fastest selling consumer device. But its popularity eventually declined, possibly because there were never really that many compelling games that utilized it, even though Kinectimals is still the game of the century. Still, a lot of Kinect's technology can be seen in some of Microsoft's current products like the HoloLens. So long Kinect, say hi to the Virtual Boy and the Steel Battalion controller for us as you float on up to game in heaven. Should tech companies be able to notify you when the government is requesting your private data? Well, Microsoft sued the US government over that question last year, challenging authorities' use of gag orders. Lots of times when the government is getting a warrant for someone's data, it will issue a gag order to the tech company, basically telling them that they're not allowed to let the person know what's happened. Microsoft sued, saying those gag orders violated its free speech, but recently dropped the lawsuit after the US Department of Justice introduced new rules that will limit the use of gag orders. And some sad news to end on. The actor Robert Guillaume, who gamers might remember for providing the voice of Dr. Eli Vance in Half-Life 2, has passed away due to complications from prostate cancer. Outside of video games, Guillaume was a big star in the world of television. He was well known for his roles on the TV shows Soap and Benson in the 70s and 80s, and he was also the voice of Rafiki in The Lion King. He was also in that one episode of Fresh Prince, and he was pretty rad. Guillaume won a bunch of awards over his career, including Emmys for his performances in both Soap and Benson, as well as Spoken Word Grammy for his Lion King appearance. So rest in peace, Robert Guillaume. He was 89. Everybody, in honor of Robert Guillaume, how about you go watch The Lion King tonight and tell us your favorite Lion King song in the comments below. Thanks to Movement Watches for sponsoring this update. Now is the time to step up your watch game. Movement Watches are made with versatility in mind because you don't want to buy a whole new watch for every occasion. You wearing some sweet brown shoes? Well, just switch out your metal band for a brown leather band and bam, a new watch. I went with this like rose gold and pink watch because it's super adult watchy but also super cute. Kinda like me, an adult but adorable. Watches just start at 95 bucks, plus you can get 15% off your entire purchase along with free shipping when you go to mvmtwatches.com/theknow.